My name's Noah Levine. I'm going to talk a little bit about mindfulness of the breath and body, present time awareness. The practice of mindfulness so often begins with the breath, bringing attention to the sensations as we breathe in, the sensations as we breathe out. Ultimately, we could actually choose anything to be mindful of, anything that's happening in the present, but the breath is so often where we start because it's always happening. No matter what we're doing, if we're alive, we're breathing. And so it's always something that we can bring our attention back to. Breathing in, feeling the sensations, whether it's at the nostrils, in the chest, or in the rising and falling of the body. Whether you're sitting in a formal practice of meditation, breath is happening. Or if you're driving down the street, breath is happening. Something that is always happening, where much of the other sensations in the body or sounds or emotions are dependent on certain circumstances. The breath is constant, is involuntary, and is a reliable anchor for our awareness. One of the things that happens when we bring mindfulness to the breath is that it also gives us some temporary relief from what's happening in the mind or maybe of the emotions. It allows us to focus and say, like, right now, all I need to pay attention to is this sensation of the breath rising, the breath passing. In that way, the breath becomes a wonderful place to start a meditation practice and to develop concentration, of a place to return to over and over. Of course, the attention doesn't stay with the breath and it wanders. We get lost back in our thoughts over and over. Some would say that breath meditation is more about how often we return than actually staying with every single breath, because even the most accomplished meditator gets lost in thought. The habit of going back into identification with the thinking mind is so strong that it happens to all of us, happens to everyone who practices, but we can always return. The moment of awareness of I'm in a plan or I'm in a memory is a moment of being awake and saying, and I can return to the present. The breath is the beginning of mindfulness practice often, but it's not the end, and it's so deeply important to then expand from the breath to the whole body, opening to emotions, opening to thoughts, opening to the pleasant, unpleasant, neutral feeling tones of the breath, body, mind states that are happening. And so that the mindfulness practice becomes not just breath awareness, but becomes present time, non-judgmental awareness of what is, whatever is.